Hello Vikings, welcome back to Stationeers. We're going to be jumping straight into where we left off in the last episode. So this is part 2 of the long video edit that I shot, and we're going to go straight into the IC programming on this one, so we can get the ingots moving from printer to printer. And we are then, you're going to see a lot of beard scratching in this one, head scratching. I've decided to leave all the footage in and not cut anything out, purely because I thought it might help other people learn how to problem solve. You'll see what sort of stuff I'm looking at when I'm trying to figure stuff out, and not only that, you might learn from the simple mistakes I make. And when I look back on this, there are actually a lot of just simple errors that I made, like not allocating the right pins to the right aliases, and not using the load and the save commands to the right functions, as it were. So yeah, grab a cup of tea, sit back and enjoy the episode, and I can reveal that on the next episode coming that I haven't shot yet, we are going to do ingot requesting. So we're going to be getting the ingots back out of the system that we want when we want them, and we're also going to try and figure out if we can get the stacker organized, so we can basically say we want to print, I don't know, 3 water bottles, and once we click activate we can walk away, and once it's printed to 3, then happy days, we're done. Hopefully we're going to have a play around that. That episode's not made yet, so I'm not making any promises, but that's what we're shooting for. Okay, so I hope you enjoy the episode. Enjoy. That's not what we're looking for. Now I will tell you, the one drawback to this system is you can only use one machine at a time. That is the drawback, because obviously if you try and use another machine, you've got to move all the ingots around. But if you're not going to be doing any heavy manufacturing like that, then you can just use one machine. Or what you could do, if you had the resources, and you probably will if you're getting onto this sort of stuff, is just set this up again. Do another row here, or do an opposite row here, however you want to do it. You can build this how you want to do it. Okay? So what we're going to need for this is, what I'm going to do, I'm going to tear out some real estate here, and I'm going to, actually I probably didn't need to do that, thinking about it, because what I'm actually going to do is just put those back for now. We're going to put down our 3 IC housing. And we got some switches, but that comes at a later date for that will come later date for the ingot extraction. So for now, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna set this up as be the last one we work on. So this will be ingot requesting. This one's going to be I need to think what I name the notepads now. I tell you what we could do, we just do printer 1, IC 1, and printer IC 2. There it is. I don't think we're going to have enough wire, so let's just quickly run through this one and tell it to quickly mix this up some heavy cable, and of course we're out of gold. See, now this is where this system comes in really well, because I am running low on gold everywhere. Like, seriously. That's got some gold in it as well. And then you won't have to watch me do this anymore anyway. I just put that in the wrong one, didn't I? Yes. Yes, I did. See, I seriously need to go find some gold. heavy cable. Run this off of here. And just need a little bit more to go down straight there. And then we can start coding, guys. Like I said, hopefully this episode's not going to come out too long. We're just going to start the simple stuff. And then we'll move on to Ignot requesting. And we'll move on. And that's requesting out of the system. Not requesting from machine to machine, obviously. It'll be for requesting to get ingots back out, and then we'll move on to automating it so we could tell the stacker how much we want. Okay, that's fine. Let's go tell that to switch off then. Thank you. Okay, what I'm just going to do here, in case we need a that's one other thing we need a memory. You have to put down a memory, because the memory is what we're going to use as what I like to call a communication chip. So as far as I'm aware, and I could be wrong, let me just name this com chip. These chips, right, the reason why there's so many of them is because they can only obviously have 6 devices plugged into them. Now when you think about, we've got 4 printers, we've got 4 pressure plates to tell you where you are in the room, so that's 8 devices already. We're then going to have buttons that are going to request ingots coming out of them. We're going to have a sorter, we're going to have a stacker. Things start to mount up of what you actually need. So with that, and you can't get these to talk to the others one. So what we're going to use is a little bit trickery in this. We're going to get the memory to basically tell the others what we're trying to do. And I'm going to show you how. Excuse me, provided I've got it right. So we're going to need, we'll take our configuration card. We're going to actually, let's just grab out of the other room. Out of this printer, I need, I'm going to take the IC header out there, and we're going to plug that in there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to clear this. I believe I've got this saved. Let's just double check. Auto generators cooldown. Let's click save, overwrite, yep, and clear this. Okay. Oh, we got a bit of hunger now. Let's just go get some food. Where? There we go. I knew I'd started eating one of these already. So, as always, guys, if you see me looking over to the left, it's me looking at some of the notes that I've already taken. Yeah, so we're on printer IC1. So what we're going to actually string out now is that's one. What does this actually read out as? State 1, state 0. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure that that does change between 1 and 0. Outside. Why do you keep coming up like that? Okay. So, we're going to first set out our aliases, as always. So, have the autolave in D0. We're going to have the electronic sensor Oh, that's what we're doing. Sorry, this one is sensors. So this one's going to identify what sensor we're in. Really don't know why this keeps coming up. Close. Type sensor. D3. Oh. D2 and alias the tool sensor D3, and we're going to do the com chip in D5. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start the loop, and we're basically just going to ask, is the autolave sensor, no, I put sensors up there, so is the autolave sensor, why is it not coming up? Have I spelled it wrong? Autolave sensor, still coming up with sensors. Is it greater than 0? And if it is, then you jump to the autolave. That's something else we should probably actually set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to do, let's just quickly write these out first. So you got autolave, and that is going to save to the com chip, setting 1. And then jump to start. Then we're going to have the electronic for the electronic printer, and we're going to save to that. So com chip setting 2. Then we're going to have our pipe bender, and we're going to save that to the com chip as setting 3, and let's put jump start in here. And I'm just thinking we need to do the tool. The tool and save com chip setting 4. And then we are going to jump to start again. So now what we're telling us is if that sensor is greater than 1, which would make it 1, it would change to the autolave. We're going to do the same for all of them now. Zero, go to electronic. If the pipe sensor is greater than 0, go to the pipe bender, and obviously we'll do the tool sensor now and go to tool. And then what we're also going to do is right before we jump around to start again, so if it is if it's not greater than any of these, we're basically going to tell the com chip to save to the setting of 0. Okay, and then we're going to tell it to jump around to the start. It's just basically, it's going to loop this bit, and if it's greater than any of those, it's going to change to one of these, but as soon as we're off, it should go back to 0. We're going to confirm that, We're going to export that. What we need to do is come around here, and we need, I haven't named the trigger plates. Always helpful. Also, lathe sensor, electronic sensor, pipe sensor, tools sensor. Oh. Okay, so we're going to have, what we can do, export that to printer IC1. Now it should tell us what they should be. If we switch it on, that says autolaves sensor, and then it's just the electronic, so we just find the electronic one. And it should be the pipe sensor, and this one should tell us the tool sensor, and then this one should tell us, should have told us, go with the COM chip. No, there we go. Why are you flashing unknown in line 5? Ah, that's why. Because I just put 5, not D5. Silly mistake. But they happen. So right now, that should line 9. Alright, why are we getting an error there? Incorrect variable. One sec, we'll have a look at that. I might have written it out wrong. Highly possible. Still not an expert in this. I suppose we could write it equal to as well. So let's have a quick look at that. And the variable there. Autolave sensor. Functions. The so branch to C, which is the last. If A is greater than B. It should work. I don't understand why it's not working. Shall we do equal, maybe? Incorrect variable on line 9. Maybe we'll just use smaller. E-sensor. I mean, this should work. Can't see this making a difference, to be fair. Nope, still not having it. Does not like that. Greater value. I don't understand why. Because, oh, it needs to be a registry, maybe? Goes to a device. Does this have to be a registry then? So do we need to load? Ah, right. Okay, that makes sense now. That makes sense. So we need to set up some aliases. Let's do a sensor. Let's do this. Autolave. Sensor. I know what I've done now. I know what I've done wrong. It needs to be stored in a registry, but looks. Well, we need to request. I had not requested the information off of the sensor. I'm just asking it to read the sensor, but I'm not telling it what to read. Right, let's just have a quick look at that. Configuration on this is the setting. Right, okay. Not to worry. So we want to. A sensor is going to be R1. Alias E sensor. R2 alias E sensor R3 alias tool sensor going to be R4. And then what we're going to do at the start is we are going to basically ask sorry, let's just double check this before I write it out and get it wrong. So we're going to store basically, so we need S, so we're going to store the autolave sensor setting into a sensor, and we're going to do the same for the electronic. And what basically asking there is we're asking, hey, have a look at the electronic sensor, see what the setting is it a 1 or a 0, and just store that in there. Clean that a bit. And we'll do the same for all of them. So, hey, pipe sensor, what's your setting? Store that in there for me, and then you can do the comparison. I'm trying to do the comparison without asking for the information first. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Right, now we can try. So if we confirm that, export that, you're still not happy. At line 14. Why are you not happy now? Incorrect logic type at line 14. Logic type? Maybe it'll be on. Or would it be the other way around? Right, okay, so that should be storing now. We'll soon find out. Wait, now it's working. So what we're going to do, just to make sure this is working, is we're just going to get rid of this part of the loop for now, because we don't want it to reset at the moment. I want to make sure that it's actually working. So for instance, if we go stand on this one, that should now, it's not worked. It should be coming up as 1. Com chip is not working. Why are we not working? I think these two need to be the other way around. Let's try. I think I've written these the wrong way around. Try that. Export that. Nope, you're flashing again. Ah, you know what it is. I need to load. I am typing it the wrong way around. It's load, not store, it's load. Whoops. Now I know. This. That'd be E. Insert on. See, even I make mistakes. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this, but this is the whole point and of trying to figure it out, and it's completely possible to figure stuff out by just fiddling around with it. Now, why are you not happy? I've lost power.
Light on.
What am I doing wrong, guys? What am I doing wrong? I thought it would have been load. Ah, that's why. So many different ways of writing stuff around. The actual what you're asking for goes at the end. Right. Let's try again. Export. Hey, so now if I go stand on this, that changes to 1. Beautiful. That changes now to 2. Huzzah. So now we got there. Hooray. Now if I put this back on at the end, save. On chip, that's in 0. Export that, you're still happy, and if we step on this, we get stay at 1, and we step off, and we should go back to 0. Perfect. So, we can now I think that is that for that one. Right, yeah. Because all we're doing there is we're just telling the con chip which one we're standing on. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work on this one, printer IC2. And we're just going to clear this. So again, we need to set up our aliases. Now we're going to tell that com chip, hey, what I want you to do now. I cannot spell. Let's quickly get this written out. Just the aliases for now. Electronics. One. This pipe. Sender D2. D3. We haven't got a stacker yet, so we'll leave that blank, but we are going to put a stacker in at one point onto that bit. Obviously we want to see that com chip. Com chip we are storing in D4. I do actually want but we need to know the com, the alias com setting R1, and then we're going to start, and we're going to have a reset, a autolave use, electronic use, a pipe use, and a tool. So once we figure out what the com chip's saying, that's where it's going to jump to those. So the first thing we're going to do, obviously, is we need to load into com setting the com chip setting. Now we know what that is. Then we're going to ask, hey, are you equal to 0? If you are, go to reset. Oh no, com setting. Com setting we want. Learning from my mistakes now. Because like I said, I've clearly written this out in a rush and wrong. This one's going to go to autolave use. And we're just going to continue this on. So we're basically asking, is this going to be equal to this number? And if it is, please go to our desired part of the code, run what we want to run. There will be one on here for 5, but we don't need it at the moment, and that'll be to do with requesting the ingots. And of course this will just jump around to the start if there's nothing, and just keep looping through that. So what's going to happen on the reset is we are going to, and let me just check this again, just to make sure. So this is got open is set to 0, and I think if I pull this, it should now be set to 1. Yeah. So that's the setting we want to adjust. So we're going to save to the autolave open 0, because we want all of them shut when we're not using it, otherwise they're just going to constantly run around, and that's no good to anyone. Pipe bender. And now what we're going to do is, under the next bit of code, and that's the point, we need to tell it after this, come back to the start place. Thank you very much. So now for the autolave, if we're going to be using the autolave, we are going to obviously save the autolave, open to 0, because we want that one to stay shut. And then the rest we're going to open up. So it sends the ingots down to the autolave through our sorting system. Go around to the start. Obviously see if we moved around and moved away. And that's pretty much how we're just going to continue this round. So, bear with me. Okay, so that's that code done. We're going to export that. Unknown error, line 11. Which is probably because it doesn't know what the COM chip is. So what we're going to do now is tell it what everything is. So we want the autolave. The autolave. We want the electronics printer. We now want the pipe bender. Hydraulic pipe bender. We now want the tool manufacturer. And now we want the COM chip. Right, that should now, line 23 apparently. What have we done wrong at line 23? Save to electronics open. Don't understand what it thinks is wrong with that. Incorrect logic type. What have we done wrong this time, guys? Stores a register value to a var on a device. How do we save a number then? 1, One sec, let's just save this. That doesn't make any sense. Because if we go back to the other one, we were... Oh, did we not do the reset? Oh, yes. Ah, so I need to do import. Yeah, save com chip set in 0. So why can't we do it different on the electronics printer? Definitely open. Incorrect logic at line 23. Oh, I think I just... That's why you save it. Incorrect logic. I don't understand. Stores a register value to a variable on a device. How do we just save a number? Did it load? Load a device variable to a registrar. That's really strange. Let's just check something. Define and define R3 as 1. If this works, I would be amazed. And then I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Now what are you saying? 26. No, it's still not having this. D1. Did I definitely... Oh, that's why. It's the electronic sorter. You dummy. Whoops. Check your pins, guys. Always check your pins. Right, now what are you saying? Line 27. There we go. So in theory, if I stand here, voila. And now we're going to get all our ingots. Perfect. And if I stand off, they're all up. That is what I'm talking about. So now, firstly, I'll show you that this works under grates. Let's give me a sec and I'll just quickly transport all of my ingots around. Okay guys, so that's it, complete. As you can see, if I step up to the machine, we will get all of our ores moved over to us. All our ores, our ingots I mean. Comes the silicon, lead. That is a victory drink. That was totally worth it. If I step back, like I said, that's just working fine. So it's been a bit long-winded to get here. What I'm going to do in the next episode, we're going to work on getting a specific ingot out that you might want. So for instance, the iron in particular, you might be like, I need the iron so I can go make some steel. Well, you're going to need to pull it out of the system somehow, and we're going to cover that in the next episode. And we're also going to look at something I haven't pre-prepped for yet, I haven't looked at it, and that's going to be how we can tell a stacker how many pipes we want, for instance. I keep referring to pipes just purely because pipes are something that don't stack. Say you wanted 60 of them, they only stack in 20s. So you need to communicate between the machines and the stacker, and then be able to tell it when it's printed 60, right, switch the machine off, you don't need it no more. You don't need it to create anymore. So we're going to look at doing that as well, all in the next episode. And what we'll do is, just at the start of the episode, we'll probably go over the code again, just so you're refreshed in it, and I can talk through exactly what every little step does. Because I know in this episode I was figuring some minor mistakes out while we were going along. But yeah, I'm impressed with this, and it works. Let's make something. Don't know what we need, if anything. Just for the giggles of it, let's make something. I tell you what, we are going to need some of these. So let's do an oxygen filter. There we go. And it should come out the bottom there. There we go. Our oxygen filter. Perfect. Right. As I said, with this though, you can only use one machine at a time, which has its drawbacks. But if you really wanted to do mass printing, you could set up a second system, or a third, or a fourth. But at least it means that you can. You haven't got to transfer loads of stuff between machines. You can just have 4 banks or whatever, and then you can just distribute between 2 rows or whatever your ingots. So hopefully that's been of some help, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already done so already. We'll do more great content like this, and yeah, take care. I'll see you in the next one.